putting people's lives at risk. What pisses me off the most is I exposed my kids to that.
Heartbeat away from going mad. Girl, when you look like that. Closer, I'ma get close.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a new video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Sharon. We do lifestyle vlogs mostly, and I'm a mom of two based in Harare. So I like to show you guys around Harare, what I do for a living, the things I enjoy to do, you know, for entertainment, eating out, exploring, you know, life here in Harare. So if that's something you think you might enjoy, please do click the subscribe button down below, because I promise you're going to enjoy it, you're going to like it. Yeah, if you're a returning subscriber, first of all, I'm sorry for going MIA last week, because things were not good, and we're about to get into the story time as to what happened, why we just, you know, dropped Vlogtober, like, you know, we were not promised each other things, and we hit a bump in the road, guys. And I think that's one of the reasons why I think if you're going to do things like this, you need to film in advance. But this is very, I think for people who are non-content creators, it's not understandable, you won't get it. But we hit a bump in the road, and unfortunately we bought, my theory is we bought fake, I don't want to name the brand, but we bought a fake, there were 4 5-liter bottles of that brand, mineral water that we bought. So it turns out, I believe, my theory is that water was not good. Either it was counterfeit, or they just made a bad batch, because the things that happened soon after we got that water, it was bad. So what happened was that I live in Harare, which is very quite obvious. I'm sure by the title you can also tell, also by the intro you can also tell. I live in Harare. For the people that are not aware as to what happens here, you cannot drink tap water that comes from like your normal council water. You can't drink that, it's not safe. Sometimes nobody brown, sometimes nobody black, sometimes it's just not safe water to drink. Even if you boil it, I don't think you should drink it. I want to boil it, and then they say it's safer to drink. Some people still even drink it and they don't get sick. But in my experience, every time I drink that water, things happen that I wish not even on my worst enemy. If you can't drink council water, your next option is to either drill a bowl or have access to bowl water or mugodi. In other words, for the people that have access to doing that, it's actually a cheaper alternative than getting a bowl, right? But because you guys know we recently moved into this place, one of the things that we couldn't be able to get in Harare was a place with a bowl. So we have access to council water, a constant supply of council water, if I can say so. Usually not gareriko and but most of the times we have water. So that is not a problem. The problem is that water is not safe for drinking, so we don't have access to a bowl anywhere close to us. We do have access to a bowl close to us, but it means you have to take to Gubu, you have to, what you call it, go fetch water and then come back. Another alternative would be to buy a bigger water tank, and then you have some for come and supply maybe say 5,000 liters of water, sometimes 10,000 of liter, which is something we're actually looking into, but just not now. However, we just decided that for drinking water we will buy our water from this specific company. It's a very known brand. So now I don't know what to do. I'm just going to stay away from it. I'll buy something else. There are many options when it comes to mineral water. So my husband went and got this water, right? We started drinking the water day 1, and the next morning my firstborn was it was Wednesday, that's when Thursday, that's when we bought the water. Wednesday we were drinking the water, and then Thursday morning Riley fell really sick. He fell really sick, so he had to miss school on Thursday and Friday. And when I say sick, I'm not, it's not I'm not saying it is a lighter situation. It was a very serious situation. But do you know what's the most annoying thing in this whole situation is we already know it's not to anything that's not safe. The other thing was we tried a new butcher, but not a new butcher. We had bought meat from that butcher. Remember, we've moved in this new area, so my shop said also are changes, so we were trying this new butcher. However, my husband was convinced that it's the chicken that we had gotten from from this new butcher. However, no one else was sick besides Riley, and Riley doesn't eat meat. He didn't eat that chicken. He eats meat but doesn't really like meat, so sometimes he would just have his meals with no meat, which it's something I'm still trying to teach him. I know Chika, but only when he wants to. So I knew Riley didn't eat that chicken, and I was trying to convince my husband that no, it's not the chicken. Then he cooked actually the same chicken. I think the next Thursday he had it. Riley didn't have it. Ezra had it. I didn't eat it. They were fine. Come Friday morning, Ezra, my youngest, then starts throwing up. Guys, I was exposed to things that I can't even wish on my worst enemy. Guys, my babies were so sick. And in those moments, to Vlogtober, can I go on my phone? Can I record? It was just next to impossible. So between taking care of them, we had to go get meds for them. And I was just hoping that they would really actually get better. So now we've stopped giving them anything that, at the time, we'd stopped giving them anything that we thought it might be a trigger to them, right? Including the water. However, they couldn't take anything in. Anything. Everything is out. They can't eat, they can't do anything. And Saturday, I remember mentioning in the previous vlog that I was supposed to host friends, and I was also going to have the cleaning ladies come. However, that whole thing just got cancelled. The birthday thingy, it got cancelled, and then obviously the cleaning ladies still had to come because I needed help at home. And I'm so grateful just for the idea of knowing that when I need help, I can always look for help, because that's another conversation we're going to have in another video. I'm grateful for those ladies because they came in and I didn't have to worry about anything in the house. They even tried to help with Ezra. They tried to clean. If I show you the amount of work they did on that day, also special shout out to the people who I have given out their contacts, because you guys, so to these days I actually have to call days in advance for me to make sure that they come on the specific date that I want them. So thank you so much. I'm not advertising them. They're just ladies that I know from like 3-4 years ago. I don't go here at home, and honestly I like them. They move with a fast speed, and also the people that I've recommended them to, they have no complaints. So I'm happy that we're all making progress with that. So then Saturday they come, they clean. Now Riley is slightly getting better, but Ezra still can't eat, still can't do anything. So I noticed that the meds that we got were not working. The only thing was we had to get something to suspend the nausea and the vomiting so that they can take whatever they wanted to take, because the most important thing for me at the time was them to stay hydrated. So together with the salt and sugar solution, hydration sachets, I had everything on lock. However, also Saturday my husband had to be away, so it meant I was home with those ladies and the kids. Riley slowly getting better, but not completely out of the woods, right? Ezra really not eating up until Saturday night. That's when he managed to eat a few spoons of cerevita, and then you couldn't even force them more. I don't force that they would come back. And I have this thing that I always thought, I can manage to 2-3 spoon. Leave it as that. Don't force feed. Don't force them to eat, because chances are if you do that, then it's just going to come out. So just give him enough to have enough energy, and then lots of liquids, because remember they have things that are coming out, so they need to stay hydrated. This is TMI for people who are not mothers, but it's okay. We're all friends here. We're all friends. So Saturday they sleep. Sunday morning I wake up not feeling too good. But because, guys, this thing of being a mom and also not having a house help, some things you just can't. You don't have the privilege of saying I'm not getting out of bed, I'm not bathing these kids, I'm not doing this and this. Mind you guys, and my husband, when he can, he does try to be also helpful and hands-on. We literally help each other, especially there are things that honestly I'm just grateful for. So Sunday morning I wake up feeling a little bit funny, but I'm not sure what's going on. So because I'm trying to cheer these kids and making sure that Ezra gets back into routine, Riley gets back into routine. Mind you, he had into routine. Mind you, he had missed school Thursday and Friday, so I was trying to monitor him to make sure that Monday he can attend school without any problems. So that was my focus Sunday morning. Mind you, I've not touched my phone to vlog at this point. I'm overwhelmed. I wanted to call my mother. I wanted my mom to come. Another thing, I thought of going to my mom's house, but I was just like, I need to be in a familiar environment with these kids, so we'll manage it here at home. But but at the same time, it was just a lot. And also I had things that were going on that weekend. I had, a client that was coming to collect some things, and then I had cleaning ladies who were supposed to come, and if we don't do the thara on a Saturday, it means we're going to start the following week on a bad note, and I always want to have this place clean before the new week starts, right? Sunday I'm not feeling well, but I'm trying to cheer everybody up. People eat, and people were sleeping, honestly, that Sunday. People were sleeping in and towards the end of the day we were like, you know what, let's go take a walk. I'll put a clip here. We went to take a walk, the normal usual route that I go to, and then Riley said he wanted to go watch football. If I have clips, I'll also insert them on the screen. Basketball, I mean. So we went to watch that basketball game. So the setup there is excuse me, the setup there is usually, I think it's Harare teams who play basketball, so it's not a very strict environment. People can drink, people can play music. It's a very nice chilled vibe, but also kids are very much accommodated. It's not like it's an unsafe environment for kids, so they enjoyed the game, and I was just sitting there making sure that everybody's having fun. And then because drinks are flowing around, I was like to my husband, you know what, I would like some Hunter's Gold. So he buys me some Hunter's Golds, and then in no time we came back home. I came back home, and then I finished the rest of he got me 3 Hunter's Gold, and usually that's my maximum. That's my peak of how much I can take, like just nazorora, no pressure, and just chilled vibes, right? I finished that, and I was sitting in the lounge, and then I said I'm not feeling well. I think this whole thing was just there, but I think the alcohol then triggered everything. So Sunday evening into Monday morning, I did not sleep. I was turning and tossing and turning in bed. I felt like punishing Chakandi got up. I feel like I want to throw up. It was just hard. It was a lot. Monday morning I'm feeling the same. I can't do anything, so my husband has to chip in, making sure that Riley goes to school. Everything here is taken care of. Nothing for me is working. I'm taking meds, I'm doing everything, but I'm really sick. Tuesday I start to feel a little bit better, and I'd also stopped taking that water. But then my husband and I were going back and forth, because he thought it was the meat from the butcher. I thought it was the water, because it was tasting really funny, and it also had a funny smell. Guys, mind you, my kids have not recovered in all of this, right? They are okay, but mostly Riley. Ezra was still, Ezra has a very big appetite. If you see Ezra not eating, it's a big problem, because generally he just likes to eat. Tuesday, I wake up, I feel a little bit better, all right? Right? And I go into the kitchen. I had that water again. Guys, I almost died. I saw my life doing this. Shoo. I saw death coming near. I said, yeah. All because of people who are trying to make money in ways that honestly I can't seem to understand. Guys, when you're doing a business, when you're running whatever you're running, do it in the air. I know tough times are lasting for a lot of people, but if you want to run a business that's going to be sustainable in the long run, do it the right way. Don't do counterfeit products. If you are in the business of my tuck shops and groceries, try to vet as much as you can what you're bringing into your store, because you're just putting people's lives at risk. And in this whole situation, what pisses me off the most is I exposed my kids to that. It's just that my experience, when the experience is a mom, so and this but picture a new mom and they're seeing their child going through what I saw Ezra going through. And I know if you give them A, B, C, D, I go to the pharmacist, they are recommended A, B, C, D, they'll be fine. But there's someone who doesn't even have access to any of those things, and all you want is to make an extra dollar, to make an extra buck at the expense of someone else's life. Guys, sometimes don't that operation. I think they should proceed with it because they are costing people's lives. And sometimes it's not even just the water, it's a whole pandemic. People will sell you fake aqueous cream that's going to be applied on someone else's baby, someone else's skin, God-given skin, and you're going to cause problems for that person simply because you don't want to use your brains. Guys, this thing pisses me off. We are yet to go back to the shop, and also it's complicated. They're just going to say they don't know what happened, but I still need to go there because I even thought maybe my child did something bad he did something bad at school. I even wanted to go to the school. So imagine the lengths I would have gone just to protect my own child because of your negligence or because of your hustle or because of your how you think you're clever and how you're supposed to make money. Guys, this thing needs to be stopped. But at this point, I think I'm more sensitive and sharing my feelings because it was painful, it was bad, and yeah, I won't recommend, I won't wish this to any of my worst enemies. It is not nice. And then, like I said, Tuesday in the Turambray, and then Wednesday I'm back down. Thursday I'm recovering. Friday is like my business at this point is going to suffer because I can't afford to be sitting still for more than 6-7 days. It means nothing is going to move. Nothing with my YouTube is going to move. And for those that I don't know, here on YouTube, you eat what you kill. You have to show up consistently. You have to engage consistently. You have to talk to your people consistently. That's how you maintain relationships with your audience. That's how you build community. And eventually, that's how you also earn on YouTube. So you've got to continue to show up. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to just enjoy Vlogtober. So 6-7 days of not doing nothing, even mentally, it was too much for me. I did not want it. And imagine I'm doing this 60-day challenge. It's sort of like a 75 hard, 75 soft, but I'm doing it for 60 days. So now we're on day 35. But then the gatombo disturb along the way because even the way I was eating, I was not eating anything. Then go that juice and actually juice I'm taking mostly raspberry. That's the only thing I could stomach at the time, and that's not what a position I wanted to be in. I had my things planned. I had the way, I had planned how I wanted things to go during the next 60 days. But anyway, it's okay. It's fine. I'm better now. So Friday we got up. We went to Source for the thrift business. As for the catering business, like I said, this October is quite a slow month. And honestly, we needed the break because honestly, we needed to take a break before we jump into December because as you can imagine, December is going to be very hectic. December is going to be very busy. So that's what happened. That's what happened, guys. I fell sick and I am much better now. And I wanted to say, when I put out the community post, a lot of you guys sent in messages. A lot of you guys even DM'd me on Instagram and on WhatsApp, and then even on the thread at your community tab, you guys wished me well, and thank you so much, guys. I'm back. I'm feeling much better, and I appreciate you sticking around and even watching up until this point. I also want to know, have you ever been exposed to any counterfeit product? Right? How did you respond, or how did you deal with that situation? Because at the end of the day, people are selling you something that's non-existent. So how do you deal with those kind of situations, especially in the Zimbabwean setup where essentially there's not much you can do? And then number 2, if but then it so happens that you are sold a fake or a counterfeit product, how would you handle that situation? I want us to have that comment, that conversation in the comments. Otherwise, guys, from now, I promise you I'm back. We are promising a bit of back. We're back with Vlogtober, and then we're just going to finish the rest of the month together. Thank you so much if you watched up until this point. I'll see you guys in my next one.
No need to say